What's up, everybody? My name is Slim, and welcome back to my channel. We just got the full spoilers for chapter 1110, so we're going to go into it real quick, but make sure if you do like my videos to like, subscribe, and comment if you have anything else. I appreciate any and all support, so thank you very much. Let's get started. Chapter title, Falling Stars. We get Yamato's Visiting Temple's Journey, Volume 2. I will travel Wanokuni like Oden did. In the cover, we can see Yamato and Momonosuke looking over Wanokuni in the flower capital castle. It really only makes sense that Yamato is the one that's kind of documenting what's happening in Wanokuni, so that's dope to see. I think that it's going to tie in Big Mom, Kaido, and then Blackbeard Pirates if they show up on Wano. But, you know, it's kind of going to be tying up all the loose ends that happened in Wano that Oda couldn't cover. And then, you know, if Blackbeard comes through there, we get to see if Kaido and Big Mom are destroyed. And then if Blackbeard is going to take the poneglyphs from Wanokuni. So we'll see where this goes, but I think that's where it's going to be leading. Chapter starts with the reactions of some of the characters. Reactions from Bluegrass, Bonney, Franky, or Atlas. We then see Black Lightning. The Giants and the Pacifistas continue destroying the Marine ships while this is happening. In Mary Geoise, the Five Elders room is now empty, and we can see a huge burning magical circle on the floor, meaning that the elders that were in this room in Mary Geoise were summoned by Saturn. We have 7 minutes left in Vegapunk's message to the world. We can see Vegapunk is sipping a Vega-coffee on the screens. 4 shadows emerge from the magic circles that appeared around Saturn. Luffy is in shock. He says, there are 5 monsters now. In an epic double page, we can see all the members of the 5 elders in front of Luffy. The 5 elders are all using Beast Awakened forms with dark flaming smoke around their necks. We can see their official names and what Beast Yokai each one of them is. And it doesn't have Devil Fruit names and only Beast Yokai names. So Oda is not ruling out that these people are just monsters in general. Exciting to actually get to see their names for their beast modes. And then hopefully later on we find out if they're devil fruits or not, or if there's something else going on that we don't know. Saint Garcia Saturn is a Gyuki. Saint Marcus Mars is a Itsumade. A massive eerie bird, looks like Pokemon Archeops, but more frightening. Saint Topman Warkery is a Huki, a giant boar with 4 tusks. Saint Ethan Baron Venus Juro is a Bakatsu, a skeleton horse. Saint Shepherd Jupiter is a sandworm, a massive worm monster. Venus Juro uses his powers to see where one of the Pacifistas is, and then he runs toward it and destroys it. Venus Juro turns into his hybrid form, and he looks like a centaur, but the lower part of his body is a skeleton horse. His neck and his head are now human form, human body, so he can use his sword with his 2 arms. He runs around Egghead Island defeating the Pacifistas and using frozen slashes that freeze the circuits inside the Pacifistas to immobilize them. Within seconds, half of the Pacifistas on Egghead Island have been defeated, showing his true strength. And right now it seems like he might be one of the strongest ones left, but you know, things could all change. We might get more of the powers from the elders sooner rather than later. But to be honest, this being the first way we see him is kind of sick, and it's a great interest for him. Mars flies up and attacks Slabophase, leaping on the barrier, but the barrier still holds. Mars is taking L's though. Venus Juro looked cool. Don't know if Mars is gonna look that cool. While Luffy is fighting against Saturn, Jupiter, the sandworm, dives into the ground. I really think he's got inspired by Dune from this one. I said that earlier as a joke, but it looks like that might be the true case. And honestly, I don't blame him, because the sandworm looks pretty dope in Dune. I'm excited to see Dune 2 and see more of the sandworm, but that's about it. I mean, that's about all I'm going to cover with that sandworm. Usopp stopped the Thousand Sunny by creating a bamboo barrier thanks to his technique, Green Star Bamboo Javelin. Finally, we get something from Usopp, and it's for protecting the Sunny and getting it to stop. It really only makes sense because Usopp is always known to protect the ships Even though he's not the shipwright, he's known to protect the ships most of the times. So it's kind of fitting because the fights that are going on right now don't really fit what he's doing. So I'm glad they could use him in some way, and I hope he gets more shine in Elbaf. Sanji then calls everyone via Din Din Mushi, telling them they must escape right now and wait for he and Luffy. Excuse me. Jinbei arrives to the place where Zoro and Lucci are fighting. We can see that one of Zoro's swords is spinning in the air due to one of Lucci's attacks. And Jinbei says, Sanji, Zoro is still fighting against that guy. Sanji then says, the Marimo hasn't ended yet? What a burden. Zoro hears this, what Sanji says about him, and he looks very upset. Lucci attacks Zoro with a new technique called Shugon Madara, hand pistol spots. Zoro then dodges the attack while he grabs the sword, spinning in the air. Then he attacks Lucci with a new technique called Santoryu Kokuba Madaragari, something like that. Sorry for butchering it. 3 sword style, Huhuva Hell, Stripe Hunt. To be honest, just from this right here, Zoro's move looks kind of crazy. He picks up a sword in mid-air and then goes into his attack and defeats Lucci all in one shot, I'm pretty sure. Oh, dude, man, that's a big move. And, man, that's a Zoro chapter if I know one. I know for a fact when it gets into the anime, that's going to look sick. So shout out to Zoro for that and stepping up and finally finishing the fight. Hopefully he doesn't get lost. So Jinbei, make sure he doesn't get lost. Zoro lands an attack on Lucci instantly with one attack and an amazing double page. We can see black lightning around Zoro, emphasizing that his Conqueror Haki is getting stronger by the minute. And then, like I said, he was one-shotting Lucci, and you know, that's really impressive because Luffy would be the only other person on the island right now that could also one-shot him. And exciting to see that. I'm curious what the power scalers think about this, but it just shows you how strong Zoro has been getting. Hopefully we get something like that from Sanji soon, and not just him taking L's. Like, him defeating Kizaru would have been cool, but we're not getting that. But he hasn't fought anybody else, so it's kind of lame. It is what it is, but I'm expecting more out of Sanji soon. Back to Luffy versus the 5 Elders. Jupiter emerges suddenly under Luffy and swallows him, but Zori and Brogy arrive at the same time. We get the Giants helping defeat Jupiter, what seems like defeating Jupiter. Dory and Brogy say, what is happening here? You are not fit to be in a dark place. Taiyu Noku. In the final double page of the chapter, Dory and Brogy cut Jupiter's head with a new attack called Taiyu Noku. Sun Saw, aka, or Sun Saw or Solar Saw. That way they free Luffy, and it's almost the same scene from Little Garland when Dory saves Luffy by cutting the dinosaur's head. And, you know, it's kind of cool to see that they save Sun God with a move that I'm going to assume is inspired by either the sun or Sun God himself, Sun Saw. It's been a while since I've seen Little Garden, so I can't remember the move off my head, but I guarantee you it's a lot stronger than it was then, and I feel like it's got to have hockey. So I'm really excited that Oda has brought the Giants back in, and then he kind of strengthened them up just so that we can go to Elbaf as well and see what happens at Elbaf. Because it's seeming from here, if this is what Dory and Brogy can do, and they were just like fighting each other for 100 years, they were wearing themselves out. Imagine if they were training and not just fighting each other, how much stronger they could actually be. Which makes me think, if there's people on Elbaf right now, Giants on Elbaf, and they were just training this whole time, there's a chance they're even stronger than Dory and Brogy, and it could be a good fight for the Straw Hats. But then Luffy says, I'm free, the Giants, Osan. And then we get Brogy's laugh. Long time no see, Straw Hat. We couldn't wait for you so we can pick you up, says Dory, and we get the end of the chapter. So there it is, end of the chapter, no break next week. To be honest, this chapter looks like it's filled with action. We get what we wanted, what the forms of the 5 Elders look like, as well as the countdown for Vegapunk's message at 7 minutes. Hopefully it doesn't play out super long like in the Whole Cake Island arc, but I don't think it's going to go that fast because Oda is kind of on a time crunch. But 7 minutes, 3 minutes has already passed by. Seems like things are going by pretty fast. But I'm gonna have a review on the chapter when it comes out, maybe a little bit after, but I'm gonna have a review on it. I like to think, or I'd like to know what you guys think about this chapter and what's your favorite part and what you're most excited to see, or any theories. But until next time, I'll see you guys later. Peace.